Big game breakdown continues here on Sportsbet Betting Insight today from SBRpicks.com. Let's get right into it. North Carolina and Louisville, Saturday showdown in the ACC. Sportsbet estimated line, North Carolina minus 1.5, 157.5. Look at the standings. North Carolina 20-7, overall 9-5 in ACC play. Louisville 18-8 overall, 8-5 in ACC play. This is their first and only meeting of the season. So the Tar Heels ended up being the only team in the ACC to have to play 3 games in 5 nights. We talked about that on Monday. And you know what? They go 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread. They beat Duke, huge game. They have a revenge matchup with NC State, and they blow out Notre Dame at the end of it. They struggled in the first half against the Irish. Looked a little bit tired in that ball game. Roy Williams changed that at halftime. Quote, I don't curse a lot, and I don't go ranting and raving crazy, but nobody can see what I said at halftime. I went a ranting, raving, crazy, slobbering, and all that kind of stuff. Joel Berry. Honestly, that's how you have to get sometimes. There are times when you can say things nicely, but there's sometimes when you've got to do that to get guys and get them motivated. Hey, it worked, and now the team's got a lot of confidence, you know? The team's been to the Final Four each of the last 2 years. The veterans know what it's like. Barry and Theo Pinson, you know, they lost in the finals to Villanova 2 years ago. The finals win over Gonzaga last April. There's upside for North Carolina right now if they can figure their defensive issues out, because this team is still showing weakness on the defensive end of the court. It's just not aggressive enough on the perimeter. You look at the turnover percentage of possessions that end in turnovers, 305, and 318 in three-point shooting percentage allowed. That's problematic when you're talking about a deep tourney run. We know what happens in March. Somebody gets hot from three-point range, and it's bye-bye to the favorites. The Tar Heels, a team that's vulnerable to that type of shooting. That being said, their offense is dynamite. I mean, number 10 in the country. What have they scored their last couple of games? 96, 82, 96, 83, and of course, 4-0 in their last 4. It was really tough to project what David Padgett was going to have for Louisville this season. It's still not easy to project. You know, the Cards lost by 10 at Virginia in the step-up game, but they haven't had to play Duke or North Carolina yet. They get the bonus of playing Pitt twice in their first 13 ACC games, won those 2 by 60 points. You look at the Ken Pom numbers, the strength of conference schedule puts Louisville at dead last in the ACC. Guess what? Look who they have upcoming. It's brutal. North Carolina, Duke, at Duke, by the way, at Virginia Tech, then Virginia, then NC State. That is as tough as it gets for anyone in college basketball. We're going to learn a lot about Louisville over the course of the next couple of weeks. The defense, and look, it remains the foundation in the post-Pitino era. Number 16 in the country. But it's a different style of defense this time. Not a lot of ball pressure. A ton of size on the inside. They're number 8 in the country in effective field goal percentage allowed. They're number 8 in the country in blocked shots, but only 102 in percentage of turnovers forced. What does that mean? That means they've got the rim protectors. They certainly do. Anas Mahmoud, Malik Williams, between them, 128 blocks. I don't know if Williams is 7-footer. He's close, 6'11" and a 7-footer. Plus, they got Ray Spalding. He's 6'10". He plays what? A little over 12 minutes. He's got a dozen blocks. Opponents have taken 1,600 shots against Louisville this season. And Louisville's blocked 170 of them. More than 10% of opponent shots went back in their face. Not as easy to find shots against Louisville. They're number 344 in the nation in defensive possession length, which means they don't give anything up in transition, and they force teams to work for 25 or 30 seconds before they get a shot on offense. That is very difficult for North Carolina. It's the opposite of what North Carolina wants to do. Tar Heels like to play fast. They're number 15 in the country in length of possession. You have to wonder here if North Carolina is going to be patient if it turns into a grinder. That being said, I trust the Tar Heels' resume right now a lot more than I trust Louisville's. Interesting game. I wish I had more strong opinions about the games for Saturday that we've broken down, but the bottom line is some solid analysis. I hope you like it. Best of luck. Enjoy the games. Please give us a like, give us a follow, give us a retweet We'll talk to you again on Monday. And guess what? Monday, I know we don't have NBA. What are we going to do? Yeah, MLB. You can count on solid, informative baseball analysis right here on SportsBit next week. See you then. Have a great week.